The folder slammed against my desk, papers flying everywhere, and then his voice, cold, sharp, cutting. You disobey me one more time, and you're out. Understand? That was the moment I realized something. My life didn't belong to me anymore. It belonged to my boss, a man feared by an entire building. My name is Elena Torres. I'm originally from San Diego, California, and today, I'm going to share the real story of how walking away from a powerful man didn't ruin my life. It saved it. The top floor of Hawthorne Dynamics, one of New York's fastest-growing tech companies, was always silent in the mornings until he arrived. Mr. Adrian Hawthorne, the CEO, the visionary, the storm. He walked through the office like a king, wearing tailored charcoal suits and an expression that said he had no time for human mistakes. People didn't even breathe too loud around him. Assistants? They came and went like cheap batteries. Quick, replaceable, disposable. Some lasted 2 days. Some lasted 2 hours. But I lasted 2 years. I never planned to. I never wanted to. But life doesn't care what you want, especially when you're paying for a sick parent and a younger brother still in school. I arrived early, stayed late, never complained, never cried where anyone could see. And Adrian, he never said thank you, not once. He barked orders through files, criticized every little thing. But I endured it because the paycheck kept my family alive. Yet behind all his coldness, behind all that steel, something strange was happening. He started noticing things. How his coffee was always the exact temperature he liked, even though he never told me. How I rearranged his meetings when he looked exhausted. How I corrected number seconds before a presentation, saving him from embarrassment. He never admitted it, but he needed me, and that terrified him. One night, after a huge corporate event, we were the last two in the office. He loosened his tie and said quietly, "You ever think about leaving this place?" And I said, "More than you know." For the first time since I met him, he didn't have anything to say. Something softened between us that night. Not romance, but awareness. Maybe even respect. But respect doesn't last long with a man who only knows how to control. Monday came with chaos. A million things going wrong.
Client counseling.
Pressure rising. I walked into his office with a pitch deck I'd adjusted to save his meeting. He didn't even look at it before snapping. "I told you to leave it as it is. Why can't you follow simple instructions?" I breathed in,
Kept calm.
because the way you planned it won't work. They need a problem-solution angle. Instead of listening, he grabbed the folder and slammed it onto my desk. Then he said the words that cracked everything open. Obey or leave. For 2 years, I swallowed everything. Every insult, every disrespect, every burned out night. But this time, I didn't. I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "Then I'll leave." He froze, like he hadn't heard correctly. "Elena, don't be ridiculous." But I'd already stood up, already packed my bag, already placed a resignation letter, signed weeks ago, on his desk. He stared at it like it was a foreign language. "You planned this?" "Yes," I said, "and you just gave me the reason to use it." And then I walked away, down the hallway, past the glass offices, into the elevator, and out of his world. For the first time in 2 years, I felt free. The next morning, there was no one waiting with his schedule, no one correcting his spreadsheets, no one saving his meetings from disaster. The new assistant messed up his coffee 3 times. Investors got wrong documents. A major contract almost fell apart. Adrian was losing control.
And he hated it.
Everywhere he turned, someone said, Elena used to handle that. By Friday night, he was alone in his office, staring at my resignation letter, like it was a wound he didn't know how to heal. He'd built an empire with iron fists, but it only worked because I kept the gears from falling apart.
And now,
He finally understood what he had lost. 1 week later, I heard a knock at my apartment. I opened the door and froze. Adrian Hawthorne, holding flowers, looking human. "Elena," he said quietly, I need you back." I swallowed.
why?
"Because the office is falling apart." He shook his head.
No.
"Because I didn't realize." He hesitated. "How much I depended on you. How much I respected you." It was the first honest thing he'd ever said to me. But respect isn't enough. Not after everything. So I took a deep breath and said, "Adrian, you didn't respect me until I walked away. And I'm not going back to a life that breaks me." He lowered his eyes, defeated. "You're different now," he whispered. "I always was," I replied. "You just didn't see it." He stood there, flowers in hand, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. I smiled for the first time in years, a real smile. and said, "By the way, Adrian, I just signed the biggest client of my new company yesterday. You'll be getting the contract next week. I'll be billing you triple my old salary." His face went white. I stepped back, still smiling. "Have your assistant schedule a meeting. Oh wait, good luck finding one who stays." And then I closed the door. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from a place that would collapse without you. And let it collapse. Your worth shines brightest when you stop letting others dim it. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, leave a like, and share it with someone who might need this message today. This is Moralist, where real stories change real lives. See you in the next video.